Welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into a concept today that honestly fundamentally rewrites how we view success. Based on Darren Hardy's core framework, we are going to look at how mundane, totally unsexy daily choices are actually the real secret behind massive, life-altering success. If you've ever felt like your goals are just miles away, or you suspect that overnight success is mostly a myth, well, you're exactly right. It's not about those massive dramatic leaps. It's really about what you do when absolutely no one is watching. Let's get started. Okay, let's kick things off with a quick choice. If I offered you $3 million in cold hard cash today, or a single solitary penny that doubles in value every single day for 31 days, which one are you taking? Most people, yeah, they grab the $3 million instantly, and for a while, they'd feel incredibly smart about it. By day 10, that doubling penny is only worth about $10. By day 20, it's barely sitting at $5,000. If you took the penny, your patience would be severely tested right about now, especially while your friend with a $3 million is out there living large. But check out this mind-bending math. If you just stay patient and simply let that penny keep doubling, by day 31, it explodes to over $10 million. That's literally more than 3 times the obvious choice. And guys, this is exactly how the compound effect works in our own lives. It is entirely invisible at first. It constantly tests our impulse control, but ultimately, it massively rewards patience and consistency over instant gratification. Part 1. Small choices, massive gaps. Let's look at how this actually plays out in the real world with 3 hypothetical friends, Larry, Scott, and Brad. Now, they all start at the exact same baseline, same neighborhood, similar income, same baseline of health and happiness. Now, Larry decides he's doing just fine, so he changes absolutely nothing. Scott decides to make some tiny, almost unnoticeable positive tweaks. He reads 10 pages a day, listens to some educational audio on his commute, and cuts just 125 calories from his diet. That's like less than a can of soda. Brad, though, goes the other way. He buys a bigger TV and eats about 125 extra calories a day. Now, fast forward to month 5 and even month 10. There is 0 visible difference between them. None. But slow down and look at month 31. Scott is 15 kilograms lighter and just got a promotion. Brad is 15 kilograms heavier and frankly miserable. That is a staggering 30-kilogram gap created by a handful of completely unnoticeable daily choices. And this perfectly illustrates what we call the ripple effect, because one small choice never stays isolated. Brad didn't just gain weight, right? His poor food choices made him fatigued. That fatigue ruined his mood, which eventually impacted his performance at work and even damaged his marriage. Meanwhile, Scott's tiny habit of listening to educational audio earned him a promotion, which boosted his confidence and improved his relationships. The compound effect is always working. The only real question is whether it's working for you or against you. Moving on to part 2, taking 100% ownership. So, to actually harness this immense power, we have to transition our mindset and take back control. And let me challenge you directly for a second. What percentage of responsibility do you have in making a relationship work? Most of us would instinctively say 50-50, right? Actually, wrong. The paradigm shift you really need to make today is 100-0. You are 100% responsible for the results in your life, giving your absolute all with 0 expectations in return. Because the very moment you stop blaming your boss or your partner or the economy, you take your power back. You are exactly where you are right now because of the choices you made yesterday. And this brilliantly illustrates why luck is, well, kind of a myth. Luck isn't just random. It is a direct formula of cause and effect. It's preparation, which is building your skills, plus your attitude, which actually allows you to spot an opportunity, followed by immediate action. Opportunities are flying by everyone every single day, but only the prepared people recognize these invisible moments and actually act on them. You literally create your own luck. But here's the catch. You can't prepare for or change what you don't even realize you're doing. So many of our bad choices are made while we are completely sleepwalking. Mindlessly grabbing a soda or unconsciously scrolling on our phones for an hour without even realizing it. The only way to break this autopilot is through aggressive awareness, because simply put, you can't manage or improve what you don't measure. So try this. Start tracking your actions. Start incredibly small. Pick just one area of your life you want to improve right now. Maybe it's your finances, maybe it's your fitness. Commit to a start date and physically write every single thing down. Track every single dollar you spend or every calorie you consume. And don't judge yourself, just observe. This creates a powerful moment-to-moment awareness that snaps you right out of sleepwalking. Part 3. Systems, habits, and your why. To win this battle against our biology, we really have to look at how habits actually work. Bad habits seduce us because they reward us right now and punish us later. Eating junk food feels awesome in the moment, but it costs you your health down the road. Good habits are the exact opposite. They punish you now with effort and sweat, and they reward you much later. So you need to realize you aren't just fighting laziness here. You are actively fighting human biology and time delay. To beat that biology, we need to look at our environment. Think of your absolute worst habit. When does it happen? Where does it happen? Who are you with when it happens? Really analyze your habits using these questions. If you eat junk food at 10 p.m. every night while watching TV, well, that's your trigger. Clean up your environment so that bad habit is significantly harder to execute. But honestly, just removing friction isn't enough. You need what Darren Hardy calls your why power. If your daily actions clash with your core values, you experience cognitive dissonance. It's this deep psychological friction that practically guarantees you'll quit. You need to dig deep into your personal battles. Find your motivation in your past pain, your ultimate goals, and the identity you want to forge. When your why is strong enough, the how suddenly becomes easy. Part 4. Protecting your momentum. When you start stringing these good choices together, you invite Big Mo into your life. Momentum is the ultimate ally of all successful people. I mean, this is basic physics. Newton's first law tells us that objects in motion tend to stay in motion. Think of starting a new habit like a space shuttle launch. A shuttle burns most of its fuel just breaking gravity in those first few minutes. But once it's in orbit, it just glides. That is exactly why you must protect your momentum at all costs. If you're having a terrible day, don't skip the gym entirely. Just do a 10-minute workout. Keep the chain alive, because having to break gravity a second time is exhausting. This is the exact sequence high performers use, day in and day out. They make better choices, repeat them into habits, and organize them into rigid routines until momentum completely takes over. Look at someone like Serena Williams. Her pre-match routines are legendary. Routines literally remove decision fatigue. You don't have to think, you just execute. Momentum always rewards continuity over sheer intensity. Part 5. What's quietly shaping you? Now, even with great routines, we obviously don't live in a vacuum. We have to look at the external forces that are quietly, constantly shaping us. First up is what we feed our brains. Think of your mind like an empty glass. If you pour in dirty water, distraction, negative news, mindless scrolling, you're going to get garbage out. You have to flush it with clear water, skill building, growth, and positivity. A brilliant way to do this is to enroll in Drive Time U. Turn the hundreds of hours you spend commuting every single year into a powerful classroom just by listening to educational audio instead of the radio. It's also super helpful to explicitly segment the people in our lives into a reference group. You have your dissociations. These are toxic people you literally need to distance yourself from. Then your limited associations, maybe coworkers or certain relatives you need strict boundaries with. And finally, expanded associations, mentors and driven people you need to get as close to as possible. You absolutely must ruthlessly protect your willpower from toxic environments because, as the saying goes, you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Finally, Part 6. Accelerating through the wall. As we bring this explainer toward its climax, we have to talk about the inevitable moment of truth, because no matter how perfect your habits or your associations are, eventually things are going to get incredibly difficult. You are going to hit a wall. But here's the secret. Hitting that wall is actually your biggest advantage. Why? Because the wall is exactly where everyone else stops. When things get hard, average people pull back. To accelerate, you just need to push a little bit further. Beat the expectation. Deliver just a little more quality than requested. Do the unexpected when everyone else just does what's comfortable. Pushing past the wall is exactly how results multiply and untouchable reputations are built. Which brings us to our final thought for today. The legendary Jim Rohn said that success isn't something you pursue, it is something you attract by the person you become. So as you take a hard look at your daily choices, your habits, and your momentum, I want to leave you with this ultimate question to ponder. To achieve everything you want in life, who do you need to become starting tomorrow morning? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and start compounding those choices today.